I think I had never, I had said to Eugenia that no one had ever acknowledged my grief. And then what just came to me now when she was talking is the word loss. Like, I don't even think it ever computed that's it was a loss, that it was a loss. It's probably the first time that I felt the word loss.
So both of these legs that you've accessed through the exercises have been pretty substantial ones in terms of emotional impact for you, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think that they both involved my mother, and I did years of therapy on my mother. But there was something about, that she couldn't acknowledge me or my grief or my loss. She was just worried that I was upsetting my younger siblings because I kept writing Jackie's name in a book. And just like in the other story, she wouldn't believe me that the soap, I was allergic to the soap. Just something about, there's something about all of it. In both instances, there was that red, angry look in her face and the pointing and telling me to stop it, get over it, stop it. It's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, those commonalities. And so you start to build up an idea of the common threads there and also the common emotional messages there. And that is a way in which these things are all linked. And so after a while, there's just this big accumulation of all of that trauma in your brain and your mind, and all these access points to it, which with all those commonalities. So the chances are, as you start to work on these things one by one, with tapping as well, even though you've done therapy before, tapping will be effective at counter conditioning them and starting to neutralize the whole pattern.
Well, and the other thing in both times was I was aware of my own anger that I know that I never felt back then. My own anger at having everything stuffed back down my throat for her truth to be so much more important than mine.
Yes. Yeah, right. And so you'll find more and more threads the more you go into it, and then you'll find those threads start, as you follow them and tap on them, they'll start to shift, and then the whole pattern will start to shift.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one man at the very first level 3 workshop I taught in 2010. He was in his late 70s, and he said, I love the workshop and I'm enjoying being here, but one thing, Dawson, is that what my father did to me was just so far beyond acceptable that I'm never going to forgive him. And I don't want you to even work with me. And I don't want you to even work on this during the workshop, because the one thing I will never do, even in this workshop, ever, is I will never forgive my father. I don't want you to ever bring up that subject if you work with me. I don't want you to ever think I will. And I'm just, that's off limits. So that was his position in the morning of the first day. And end of the last day, he came up to me and said, "Damn it, Dawson, I forgave my father." So we, because it's not forgiving the parent or coming to terms with them. It's much more all about us and about having inner peace and not having that emotional space in our lives anymore. So it's, we're not doing it for them, we're doing it for ourselves. It's our gift to ourselves to relieve us, reparent ourselves, and relieve ourselves of all that old stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thank you. So just a deep breath, and then we're going to work on one leg, and we're going to do some borrowing benefits. So I think this time round, I'll just go ahead and start this, and then I'm going to have various people step in. And Rose, let's work on the Mom Ivory Soap Stop It leg, if you're willing to do that.
Yeah.
And do you, so as we work through one aspect, we'll just move to the next aspect, on the next aspect, the next aspect. And we'll start with the Stop It one because that's where you began. So just thinking about her saying, stop it, and maybe just even say it out loud yourself. I don't want to say it loudly to you because I don't want to trigger you too much, but what number are you around that?
Stop it.
Yeah, auditory or verbal aspect.
Yeah, 8.
Okay. So let's work very simply to begin with. So tap over here and say, even though Mom said, stop it, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though my mother said stop it, I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though my mother said, stop it, I'm safe now.
Even though my mother said stop it, I am safe now.
I am safe now.
I am safe now because she's dead.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
I vividly remember her saying, stop it.
Yes, I remember her. I vividly remember her saying stop it.
I vividly remember her saying, stop it.
I vividly remember it. Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Let's do the optional points too. So the liver point, I'll just stand up. So it's right over here.
Yeah.
And so just so you can see where it is, right over here. So
Yeah.
I usually, rather than tapping there, I usually just dig in there, especially under my ribs, to see if there's any like old stuck stuff in there. So
Okay. So underneath the last rib, or
it actually ends right above the last rib, and then the line, it runs down from there. So under the last rib, I find is usually, there's often pain or discomfort or stuck sensations under there. Just see if there are any for you. See if you really dig in there.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so some of your mother is still stuck in there. So just go ahead and dig in there.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think she is still in there.
Just massage her out.
Okay. Well, I'll often feel a lot of nausea, and I feel like she stuffed everything down my throat, and I would just want to throw it up.
I just want to throw it up.
I just want to throw it up.
Tap on the wrist point. I just want to throw it up.
All right, and you going in the middle of the wrist or on the side? In the middle?
The actual point, if you take your thumb, you find the crease of your wrist.
Yeah.
It is 2 thumb widths above the crease. So for me, that's right over here.
Okay.
I want to throw her up.
Yeah, I want to throw her up.
I feel nauseous when I think of her.
I do feel nauseous when I think of her.
Okay, another optional point is the sides of the thighs. You just slap or tap on the sides of the thighs.
Okay.
I'm thinking of my mother.
Thinking of my mother.
It makes me nauseous.
It makes me nauseous.
Okay, then sides of the ankles, tap on the sides of one ankle, and then the sides of the other, both sides of.
And are you on the outside or the inside, or?
Both. So one hand
Okay.
on the inside, one hand on the outside.
Okay.
So do the left ankle, the right ankle.
Okay.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Nauseous.
Nauseous.
Throw her up.
I want to throw her up.
Get her out of my body.
Yes, get her out of my body.
Get her out of my head.
Get her out of my head. See, I feel like she's more in my body than my head.
Okay, she's in my, so tap on the hand points.
Mm-hmm.
She's in my body.
She's in my body.
She's in my body.
Yeah, she stuffed her words down my throat.
She stuffed her words down my throat.
Mm-hmm.
My words didn't matter.
My words did not matter.
My reality didn't matter.
My reality did not matter.
She stuffed her words down my throat.
She stuffed her words down my throat.
Back of the hand, close your eyes and open them. Eyes hard down to the left. Eyes hard down to the right. Move your eyes in a big circle. She stuffed her words down my throat.
She stuffed her words down my throat.
There was no room for my words.
No, it's not allowed to have words.
I don't get words.
I don't get to have words.
I don't get to have words. Only she got to have words.
Very loud, angry words.
Very loud, angry words.
Only her.
Only her, loud, angry words. Keep your eyes moving. I'm just going to watch you. Come a little bit closer to the screen if you could, just so I can see where your eyes are.
Okay.
Okay, good. Big circles, keep going. Loud, angry words.
Loud, angry words. I think I can feel myself skipping on that, my top left. Yeah. It feels like it's skipping.
Okay, just keep going with your eyes for a few minutes and keep tapping.
Yeah, it's coming down.
Okay, eyes the opposite direction. Slowly, that's good. Yeah. Angry words.
Always angry words.
Always angry words.
Always angry words.
Stuck in my body.
Yeah, I don't know if her anger is stuck in my body or my own anger that I never felt. But I didn't want to be angry because I would be like her.
Anger stuck in my body.
Anger stuck in my body.
Hers and mine.
Yeah. Hers and mine.
So just keep on moving your eyes. It's okay if you skip. Keep on tapping.
Okay. Yeah. All of us kids so didn't want to be like her that we never get angry.
Okay, see if you can move your eyes quickly all the way around now. Just say the word angry.
Angry.
Keep going fast now, all the way around. Angry.
Angry. Angry. Angry.
Like 3 more times should do it.
Angry. Angry. Angry.
Good. So stop tapping. And now tell me, as you tune into your body, where in your body is the anger stuck?
Well, some of it is out of my body now, but you know, sort of from my abdomen up to my chest.
Okay.
Maybe a little, yeah, maybe a little bit in my chest too.
Okay, it's abdomen in your chest. And what color is it?
Red.
How big is it?
Kind of a little smaller than a basketball.
What shape is it? So it's round, spherical, or round, or a sphere, or circle?
Well, it's round, but there's a lot of projections coming out of it, just, you know, ugly
Okay.
projections.
And what color are those projections?
Yeah, orange and red and yellow.
Okay. Even though I have this angry red basketball in my abdomen,
Even though I have this angry red basketball in my abdomen.
with all these projections coming out of it,
Yeah, with all these, yeah, things coming out of it.
I still accept myself,
I still accept myself.
and I'm still safe
I'm still safe.
because she's dead.
Yeah, I forgave her a million times, but she kept on doing stuff till the day she died. So you have to keep on forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. But I know what the projections are in the ball now. They're her fingers pointing. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do that. Don't be yourself. They're pointing.
All these fingers pointing.
Yeah, all her angry fingers pointing. Yeah.
Her angry fingers pointing.
Mm-hmm. Her angry fingers pointing.
Okay, tap on all the points while you say that. I'm just making some notes over here.
Her angry fingers pointing. So it's letting up because I'm starting to think if I hadn't been involved in it, I would have thought it was kind of funny. She was so powerful with her fingers.
Her angry fingers pointing at me.
Her angry fingers pointing at me.
Her angry fingers pointing at other people.
Yeah, her angry fingers pointing at her kids and her husband.
Her husband. Her angry fingers. So again, the liver point, dig in there and just get rid of all the angry fingers that are stuck in there.
Okay.
Angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
5 points, angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Ankle points, angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Both ankles, angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Okay, collarbone point, angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Now I want you to do some bilateral tapping like this. So one side, then the other side. So angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Pointing.
Pointing.
Let's do some bilateral tapping around the eyes as well. Angry fingers.
Yeah, angry fingers, they were so scary.
Scary fingers.
Yeah. there was just like so much violence coming out of her fingers, and she used to hit for sure, but there was this energy that would come out of it, this violent energy that would come out of her fingers.
Okay, side of the eye. Angry, violent energy
Angry, violent energy.
coming out of her fingers.
Yeah, coming out of her fingers.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Okay, back to the gamut point. Close your eyes and open them. Keeping your head steady, eyes hard to the left, eyes hard to the right. Eyes in a slow circle all the way around, angry fingers.
Angry fingers.
Coming out of this red basketball in my abdomen.
Coming out of this red basketball in my abdomen.
Okay, keep on tapping, keep on saying that.
Yeah, angry fingers. And a ball of angry fingers in my stomach. A ball of angry fingers in my stomach. Her fingers. And I thought I had to throw up the angry fingers, but I'm getting this image of just kind of like dumping them back out on the floor to her.
Good, because that is going to change. That angry ball of angry red fingers is going to change as you tap. So just keep on moving your eyes the way you're doing them now, because you just reversed direction a moment ago. And just let that ball change however it changes.
Yeah, so it's not all, the ball isn't all connected anymore. Her fingers are all separated, and I just like dumped them out on the floor.
Okay. I'm dumping them out on the floor.
Yeah, you can have them back.
They're your fingers, they're not my fingers.
Yes. They're your fingers. They were in my face, but I don't want them anymore. Yeah, and they're changing color. They're kind of bluish. Or yeah, they're not alive anymore.
Dead blue fingers.
Yeah, dead blue fingers. There's no energy in them anymore. They're just on the ground doing nothing.
Okay, tap through all the points now. Head point. Dead blue fingers.
Dead blue fingers.
No eyebrow point, no energy in them anymore.
No, there's no more violence.
You know, alternate tapping, so bilateral tapping.
Mm-hmm.
No more violence.
No more violence.
Side of the eye, bilateral tapping. No energy in them anymore.
No energy in them anymore.
Under your eye, no energy in them anymore.
No, I wish I could think of the best word. They're obsolete or nothing, or they're, I guess, dead. They can't hurt anybody.
They can't hurt anybody.
Mm-mm.
They have no power left to hurt anybody.
No, that's it. There's no power in them.
No power in them. Their power is dead.
Yeah, their power is dead.
Collarbone. They're lying on the floor. They can't hurt anybody.
Oh, they're, yeah, all used up.
All used up. The power is all gone. Liver point.
Mhm.
Underarm. Thigh point. Let's do bilateral here again.
Okay.
Dead, powerless fingers.
Dead, powerless fingers.
Ankle points. Dead, powerless fingers.
Dead, powerless fingers.
Now, are they even there anymore still?
Well, I think I don't know, maybe, well, now what I'm feeling is how my own body and stomach would have felt if I never had her fingers shoved down my throat. I'm more aware now of my own body, of how it would have felt if I didn't have her in there.
I choose to feel
I choose to feel
how my body feels
how my body feels
with only Rose in here.
with only Rose in here.
I deserve to feel
I deserve to feel
how it feels
how it feels
inside my body
inside my body.
to have only Rose here.
Yeah, to have only Rose here.
To have only Rose's words here.
To have only Rose's words here.
To have only Rose's reality here.
To have Rose's reality here.
Okay, eyes again, back of the hand. Eyes just in a quick circle. Only me and my body.
Only me and my body.
Eyes the other direction. Only me and my body.
Only me and my body.
I deserve and choose.
I deserve and choose.
Only me and my body.
Only me and my body.
It's my body.
It's my body.
And I choose
And I choose.
who gets to live here.
Who gets to live here?
And I
Well,
choose.
me feels so much better than her.
Me feels so much better than her. Okay, side of the hand point as you say that. Stop moving your eyes. Just side of the hand
Oh,
point. So me feels better than her.
me feels way better than her. Much better. Yeah.
Good. So stop tapping. Take 3 deep breaths. So describe the feeling in your abdomen.
I've had like things that verged on nausea my whole life, you know, and my stomach feels not sick, and like there's a lot of room and space, and the color would be more yellow. There's a lot of relief in being me, and I think I always didn't like myself on the inside, but it feels like relief now because it was her that I didn't like. It really wasn't me that I didn't like.
And you thought it was you, not realizing it was her?
Yeah, I didn't realize. So today was the first time that I realized how much she was in there. And it did feel like stuff was crammed down our throats and stuffed down, stuffed. There's a lot more room in there right now.
Good. Let's tap that in as our closing statement. So To end with, let's just say there's a lot more room in there right now.
There's a lot more room in there right now.
Back of the hand, close your eyes and open them. Eyes hard to the left. There's a lot more room in there right now.
There's a lot more room in there right now.
Eyes hard to the right. Eyes in a big circle quickly. There's a lot more room in there right now.
There's a lot of room in there now.
Eyes the other direction quickly. Back to tapping on the side of hand point. There's room for me.
There's room for me.
I choose room for me.
I choose room for me.
I choose room for only me.
I choose room for only me.
And I decide who's in here.
I decide who's in here.
Only I decide who's in here.
Only I decide who's in here.
And I'm safe now.
I am safe now.
I am safe now. I believe you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was powerful. Now, anything else you want to share before I just make a few comments, Rose?
No.
Okay, so what I decided to do was work symbolically, and it's kind of like the color of pain, because if you are using the color of pain technique, then you're doing the same thing with the pain. You're asking what color the pain is, what shape the pain is, and then you notice how the pain changes color, shape, composition, size, and that indicates progress. And usually with people, the color changes very quickly. But you can also use this for emotions and a whole group of energetic signatures and feelings in the body. And so working on a lot of legs and a lot of aspects could have taken a long, long time. But, and we still, this isn't to say that every leg and every aspect is collapsed, it isn't. But if you work symbolically, the way the brain works is just amazing. And we're using both the visual cortex, things you're seeing and imagining, but also the visual association cortex. And so notice how, Rose, you saw something, projections, but then you also realized the projections were her angry pointing fingers. And then you imagined all the energy pouring out of those angry pointing fingers. And then eventually the energy went to being dead fingers lying on the floor. They changed color to blue. So what's going on here is that we're working symbolically, and we're working on a whole bunch of different events. There are many, many events rolled into that feeling in your body, and we're able to work on them all by using symbols. It's very powerful to use symbols. So now we're using a part of the brain above the visual cortex called the visual association cortex. And the visual association cortex makes an association between this and this. So it's making that association. Initially, you're getting this kind of mysterious image of these fingers poking out, of these projections poking out of the bowl, but then they turn into fingers. That's your visual association cortex kicking in and associating one with the other. And then as those associations change and as you heal, the images changing and the feedback you're giving means that those energy patterns are shifting, and that shows up in differences in the imagery. So the fingers change to blue, they fall on the floor, they're no longer attached to you, they're also outside your body now. You're realizing this is her stuff, not mine. So you're then able to reclaim your sense of self separate from her. And then I did several rounds of tapping at the end to really claim that, because my supposition here is that probably the sense of you having sovereignty over your own body and over your own inner emotional space is something that's not firmly rooted yet. And we need to do a little bit of tapping to really anchor this idea that this is my internal space. I have these boundaries, because the poking fingers have been violating your boundaries, and they're still doing it in your mind, even though she's long dead. So so here I wanted to do some final rounds of tapping just to reinforce this new discovery that it's my body, she's not there. I don't need her in there. I choose to have my own space independent of her. So that's why I took that there in the end, because I'm assuming that after a lifetime of boundary violations, that you've spent far more of your lifetime having your boundaries violated than you have having clear ones. And so we need to really tap in that whole idea of having that clear internal self that you can now rely on, and then you can walk out of here and walk past this point with that strength. So normally I don't do a lot of positive tapping, a lot of affirmative tapping that way. But in a case like this, where there's been a lifetime of boundary violations by a parent from a very early age, but very vulnerable age, so that's developmental trauma, and there we need to install something. So we're both removing something, which is all the poking and all the intrusion and all the harsh energy coming in from our fingers, and we're installing something new. So I didn't tell you that you had this self in there without her. You told me that eventually. You said, you began to inhabit yourself, your full self. You claimed your full boundaries. So I was affirming that really strongly. We need an antidote to the lifetime of violation that you've suffered. And so it's very powerful then to also affirm the new self, the new you, the new understanding, the new personhood, the new gestalt that is present for you now. So that's why I was doing that tapping at the end.
Thank you.
Any questions or observations or comments as you watch me work with Rose on what initially I was pretty determined to work on only that one leg and the aspects, but I quickly realized we're going to have to work symbolically and work on a bundle. Where I would go next, if we say we had a client-coach relationship and I was to do this with Rose over time, I next would go to event after event after event. I'd do testing. I'd find which legs were still a high number, which legs had aspects that were still a high number. I'd find additional kinds of aspects, and we gradually just really make sure that we were clear. I probably would do some affirmative tapping in every session to keep on reminding Rose that she's made this new discovery of this self that doesn't have those intrusions. Also, I would use the optional points because I thought that doing the liver point was kind of a pivotal part of the session. It seemed to make a difference to do the liver point. And we do recommend the liver point in cases of family and love relationships and anything to do with security. It's often a point that's useful for people. I did the optional points because, again, you've done a lot of tapping already. So I thought, well, maybe we'll jog things loose using the optional points. I wanted to also, again, assuming you've done a lot of tapping, done a lot of therapy, let's try the bilateral tapping to see if that produces progress that homolateral tapping doesn't. So that was sort of my thought process as I went through the session.
Dawson, what's the difference? I noticed you did slow circles and then quick circles. What's the difference and when do you use the quick versus the slow?
Yeah, good question, Mariana. And the slow circles are so that you can see if people are skipping and that they can really settle into their emotions. It's pretty distracting to do the fast circles. It can just be a distraction. So I want people to really be feeling their feelings and then letting them go. So there's a lot of release that happens with the slow circles. But with the fast circles at the end, you're just doing a quick check to see if the person is skipping. And also, I thought it possible that Rose might actually be getting eye strain by the end of this, because I was just having to do so much of that brain work we talked about yesterday, where you're actually using these natural cycles of rapid eye movement sleep and non-rapid eye movement sleep, theta and delta sleep. So the memory reconsolidation during theta and the pruning, the neural pruning that happens during deep delta sleep. And so I wanted to just do some testing at the end with fast eye movements. I didn't think she needed to do the same slow ones I'd been having her do, because I'd had to do so many of them, and I thought it was probably going to be taking a toll on her eyes.
Dawson, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know what organs the meridians are connected to. I know a few, like that one, that's the liver one, but I have no idea that, and I've been asked that a lot. I'm like, just a bunch of organs, you know. I don't know what to answer. I don't know if you have like a
Yeah.
mapping or something of that.
Yeah, all those internal organs, the giblets.
Yeah.
There is a there is an acupuncture chart in the back of the EFT manual. So if you look at page 371, there is the ones we use in EFT. I just have it there so you can see where they are. It's really helpful to know exactly where the points are. So we do name some of them, the pericardium meridian or the kidney meridian or the stomach meridian. And you can just, there are only 8 of them, so it's easy to, governing and central meridian, you just memorize them if you want. But I actually like to look at an acupuncture chart and find them, and then, if you want to, there's a great book as well that we published a few years ago, and it's called Body Eloquence, and it actually is by a therapist, and it has exercises for each of the meridians. And so she gives you like little diagnostics to help you figure out which one might be blocked, shows you where they are, and then recommends exercises to work with one. And so as you read the diagnostics, you'll think, aha, that tends to be me, an area I struggle with. And that is, book is called Body Eloquence by, what is her name? Just give me a second here and I'll check on that. If I have the book right here on the bookshelf, you can't see. Nancy Mellon. Nancy Mellon, Mellon. She is a psychotherapist. She's also certified by Donna Eden and also is a tapper. So,
okay.
wonderful book.
I'm looking at the manual, but 371 is where, because I see that like dummy chart, well, the dummy with all the points.
Yes.
350. It's because I have the 3rd edition, so I don't know if it changed with your
oh yeah, I'm looking at the 4th edition over here. So it's a few pages further on, because I think there are like 10 more pages in the 4th edition.
Okay, but because I see the dummy, I see like the numbers, but it doesn't say like the liver or the heart or the, I don't know which.
Yeah, and you actually have to just look that up. So,
okay. Yeah.
This is just for where the points are, and then the names of them. Just look up an acupuncture chart, and it'll tell you.
Okay.
We'll take a break now because we've gone on a little long this time around. I like to keep the sessions to about 90 minutes, but as you can tell, when you work with emotions, things don't always fall into neat little time periods. And so just breathe and settle into our bodies and feel our gratitude. I feel such gratitude for having these tools, for being able to do this work, for being able to shift a lifetime of those violations, boundary violations. I actually was getting triggered myself, Rose, and we talk about transference and countertransference during the live classes. But my mother was also very abusive, and so I was getting like what in Gestalt therapy they call a bounce off of your work. So I was getting triggered as well, and then feeling myself releasing. And I noticed that during the very first leg that we talked about today. And so, and many of us watching this as well will probably have had negative experiences with a mother or a father and be getting a bounce off it as well. So it's powerful to do this, and then we just want to let this work really settle into our bodies. That's why we have a little bit of breathing, a little bit of celebration, a little bit of affirmation of who we are, and space at the end of it. So